it's time for us to honor the Lifetime Achievement Awardee. We have been doing this for the last 7 years. The predecessors were Mr. Natarajan, IPS, President MLA, Mr. Pandirajan, Mr. NC Sridhar, and so many others. We have been honoring them year on year. This year, we have a special guest.
Good morning to all of you. I think you must be guessing who is the awardee. It's a great pleasure to stand in front of you and announce the person who has worked in HR field almost 3.5 decades and multivarious disciplined companies like Tata's, L&T, then BTR Energy, and he is on his own now. And the person, though he has 3.5 decades experience, still looks only 35 years old. Probably he is a good singer too. I think by the time you would have guessed whom I am referring to, it is none other than Mr. J.D. Sharma, who is being awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award. I would request you to go to the AV presentation for a short while. Yes.
Before I move on with honoring him for the lifetime, I would like to request Mr. Vikram Kishore Naik of L&T, who heads the Talent Acquisition Department, who happens to be his junior and being mentored by GDS. So he wanted to share a few words about GDS before he is being honored. I request Mr. Vikram to be on the stage.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, and my dear friends, a very good morning to all of you. It's a pleasure, and I would like to first compliment and thank Voltech HR for conferring this Lifetime Achievement Award to Mr. J.D. Sharma, because he is only a candidate and deserves the most for this award. Let me tell you how a person is respected in the industry and how he commands respect from this small example. My name is Vikram Naik. As Dinesh said, I head talent acquisition in last month group. I work with Mr. S. N. Subramaniam, who is our CEO and Managing Director. Yesterday evening, I shared with him, sir, tomorrow Voltech HR, they are going to confer this Lifetime Achievement Award to Mr. J.D. Sharma, and I would like to go there for 1 hour in the morning. And the immediate response was, yes, please go ahead. I know him. He's a great person. Convey my best wishes to him. This is what the respect, even though he has left Larsen & Toubro maybe 9 years back, still he has that kind of respect and reputation in the organization. Dear friends, in this era of talent management, Mr. G.D. Sharma is the real talent smith. I am calling talent smith because he is taste of talent. He has the knack of identifying talent and groom them. I was one among his prodigies. I was in Bangalore and he picked me from Bangalore office and brought me to the headquarters Chennai, and he saved my career in a big way. And I trust he would have saved the career of so many HR professionals, whether in Larsen & Toubro or Murugopa Group or Speak or in Starlight. I wish you all the very best, sir. Congratulations, sir. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity to Sharma. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Mr. Mangat Ram, Sharma, and all the other dignitaries on the stage to please honor Mr. GDS, well known as GDS in our fraternity, with the shawl and the medal and a small memento as a part of our honor of being a lifetime achievement awardee for the year 2018 from HR Caucus. I request the audience to please give a big round of applause. Most of us in HR, we know GDS a lot. We know what he stands for, what it symbolizes for all of us. I think you have to give a big round of applause. We have a group photo for them. You have to land move a little bit.
Kill it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Now it's time for us to listen to him. I think all of us have heard GDS speaking many times, particularly the HR team. It's not new to hear him. Definitely every time he speaks, he has a new energy, he has a new subject, and definitely he has a new outlook towards the subject what he speaks. Every time for the last 7 years, whenever we conclude the title of Caucus, he is the only guide for us, and he is the final guy who writes the final title and says this is final. So definitely he will have his voice on the subject. But this time, I would definitely, on behalf of the HR fraternity, would like to put a special request to him. So before you end your speech, we would like to hear 2 lines of your singing. We all have been less known, and maybe people like me, we have got the opportunity to hear him singing. But as an HR, we have never heard him singing. So maybe at the last 2 lines for us of any of your Hindi ghazals, particularly I know you will definitely link it with the subject quite quick. Now the dais is for GDS. Thank you.
For the first time, after a long gap, I'm actually come with a prepared speech. Respected colleagues on the dais, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you. At the outset, it's a pleasure and a privilege to be sharing the dais with colleagues whom I have known for many years now. And with someone like the respected Principal Secretary, Labour and Employment, for sharing not only the dais with me, but also the surname. Some claps. I'm deeply honored and touched by this gesture of Voltech HR Services and Voltech Group of companies to confer upon me the Lifetime Achievement Award, which I most humbly accept. But today morning I was just thinking about it. I said, like everybody ought to do, I also ought to dedicate this award to somebody or to some institution. And I came across only two names, and that was one that I wish to dedicate this award to my family. My family, comprising of my parents, my foster mother, my elder brother, my sisters, and my own family, represented by my wife, my daughter, my son-in-law, and two beautiful grandchildren. But I also wish to dedicate this award to my alma mater. The second institution that I could think of is my alma mater. The most respectable and the most esteemed Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Mumbai. And of course, the Hazarimal Somani College of Commerce in Bandra in Mumbai, and my school, Kendriya Vidyalaya, in INS Shivaji Naval Base in Lonavala near Mumbai. Because if these two institutions had not sowed the seed of character and personality into this soil of my soul, I won't be standing there. But in any case, I have been always very, very closely associated with not only the HR Caucus, but I guess most of the most important HR events in this part of the country. And like at work, like in everything that I do, I have invested my heart and soul into whatever I do. Absolute involvement, 100% involvement, enthusiasm, energy, commitment, whether it's HR Caucus or whether it's the annual national conference of NIPM, which we concluded in September last year, 4 months ago, which people still today refer to as the conference unprecedented in the history of Chennai. And I was so deeply involved in it, I was so deeply committed to it, and I did play a very significant role in making that happen. So, but then I just was also thinking about it, that I was not very much really associated with the HR Caucus last year, because I guess I was out of India traveling or whatever. And I was therefore felt a little distanced, emotionally and otherwise, from this event. And I think that's why Dinesh thought of me and said, no, we must rope him back by giving him a lifetime achievement. So I'm so happy to be back. I'm so happy to be back in this event. And I wish the Voltech HR Services, with which I was also associated years back as an advisor, as a mentor, and of course the Voltech Group, Mr. Umapathy's leadership, and I wish them all the very best. And in an event like this, on an occasion like this, when so many senior industry veterans are present behind and in front of me, I wish to share a few thoughts on HR. As I visualize the shape of things to come. Not that I'm a crystal ball gazer, but the manner in which I see digitization and big data and all of that coming into industry, coming into economy, coming into our lives. I have put down maybe 5 or 6 thoughts which are indicators of how HR should really ready itself to face these scenarios, face this reality in the times to come. The first is what is referred to by IT experts, Murli is here, but many others, they are now referring to something called the gig economy, GIG economy. Now what that really means is the emergence of freelance workforce. There will be no contracts of employment any longer. There will be no 7-page appointment letters, because workers are going to be telling us that you can hire us maybe for a few days, for a few hours, for an assignment, for a period of time, fixed term contracts as we call it in Larsen and Toubro and so on and so forth. And then add to that, to the complexity, a little bit of what now is being referred to as diversity. Diversity is no longer just gender equalization or gender respecting gender. No, it's much more than that. I think we are talking about gender and disability balanced workforce. We are talking about multicultural workforce. We are talking about multinational workforce. And we are talking about multi-generational workforce. Now, the question simply is, and I don't have an answer for it, but I know what I need to do. The question simply is, how can HR be capable enough or build capability within the HR to engage such diverse employees in your workforce and to be able to handle and address HR issues arising out of such a complex workforce and the change in the nature of employment itself. So this, I thought, was the first mega trend in HR. The second, of course, is that I have always felt this, and I have always tried to overcome this particular phenomenon, if you want to call it, in my, whether I was in Murugappa group with Mr. N. Ramachandran or any of those organizations that I work for, and that is this, that increasingly there is a very genuine feel and an opinion and a view that line managers are better equipped to handle human issues, HR issues, people-related issues relating to their team, address and understand their aspirations and mentor and coach them, because the line manager spends not 8 hours but maybe 10 hours per day, maybe much more than that with his own team members. And so he looks at HR for a little bit of support here and there. Now can we transcend that? Can we break that? I call it the glass ceiling. I call it as the glass ceiling for HR. Can we really break that glass ceiling and be able to earn that respect and be able to make a voice and be able to make a difference to the people issues and add and equip the hands of these line managers in addressing their HR and people issues. So this, according to me, is the next big challenge, and that is that can we really add critical value to the line managers? And so therefore, calling for roles like we may have to be an advisor, we may have to be a mentor, we may have to be a counselor, we may have to be an architect, as Dave Ulrich has already said many years ago that you need to wear 6 or 7 hats every time, because the HR role is so much multifaceted. So much multifaceted. And so can we really add value and enhance, like customer experience? And after all, it is customer experience because employees are our customers. So can we add value and enhance the employee experience? And that's where we will make our presence felt. The third mega trend, accordingly, is, of course, more of this, in the sense that HR has to be increasingly relevant. HR cannot be inside out. That I know HR and so therefore I will go and process and I will preach HR for other people to embrace it. No, it has to be outside in. Because what is relevant outside is what will dictate HR. And outside when I mean in the ecosystem of the business. So what is our positioning? Therefore, and that's why I go back to this HR conference last year. HR positioning in a continuously disruptive market economy. What is HR positioning? That was the theme for the last national conference. So I am also saying, I read it somewhere in one of those Mercer or Deloitte reports, that HR actually has to move from preservation to disruption. Because we are talking of a disruptive economy, disruptive market situations, market environments. What is today may not be relevant tomorrow and so on and so forth. So is really HR able to innovate, to kind of think up of solutions which may work today, but I am not saying long term versus short term and all that, but to be able to accept disruption in your day-to-day lives and thus be ready to manage the new age talent, as we all know, the millennials and all of that. And the fourth one, which is what business leaders, Mr. Anand Sundaresan and Murli and all of them are business leaders. So what do they expect? They expect HR to talk the business language. They expect us to understand business. They expect us to know the business. So that then we can deliver what is required by the business. Simple. And that is how I think an HR person will be invited to the board. Not demand that why HR people are not being elected into the board and things like that. They should earn the credibility. They should be able to command the respect of an equal in a business team. Whereas today we know that doesn't happen. When there is an issue related to people, HR unions, they say let's call the HR guy and get his opinion. I don't think we are here to give opinions. I think we are here to influence the business and to serve as the eyes and ears of the business leader and to be able to guide and advise them in terms of what is required in that particular situation or in that particular moment or in that particular quarter or year or whatever it is. And so therefore, the biggest glass ceiling that we have to break, and I am one of the parties to it. Let me give you a little background. I came into HR because I don't like science. My father was a wizard. He was a gold medalist of the Indian Engineering College and went on to become the Deputy Chief Scientific Advisor to the Government of India. He was a wizard in languages. He was a wizard in maths and engineering and theory of machines and thermodynamics and fluid mechanics and all of that. So I said, my God, those are all deadly dangerous for me. I dare not even go near. I only used to read the titles of the textbooks that he would bring home. And that's why I'm saying fluid mechanics, theory of machines and heat engines and all of that. I don't know anything about it. But then, today, you have to be arithmetic savvy. You have to be data savvy. You have to be good in statistics. And you have to be good in understanding, interpreting, and discerning the trends out of a piece of data that is thrown up by your SAP or Salesforce or whatever is the software that you are using. So can we really, and I can tell you very, very sincerely, HR people run at the sight of data, at the sight of arithmetic, at the sight of logic, at the sight of algorithms and things like that. But that's what we are going to live with today and in future. So it's not that we have to know arithmetic or we have to know logic or we have to know algorithm, but but I think we must be able to appreciate, understand, accept, embrace data, to be able to talk meaningfully to these people. I am not saying shy away from the emotional part. I was talking to a good friend today morning just now, saying that, sir, but this digitalization and big data, I hope it doesn't make us inhuman as HR people. Not at all, not at all. And that's the beauty of HR, that we have to manage the rough with the smooth, like the Tata Safari advertisement. We have to manage the rough with the smooth. We have to manage the emotions with the data, with the rationale, with the rational. We have to manage the rationale with the rational. And of course, the other trend is in terms of the lingo, as I said, the business people want us to talk their language. We should talk in terms of what business means to them and not what business means to us. No. Then we are creating silos in the organization which we ourselves need to shy away from. And so they want us to experience business. So today they are saying, the line managers are saying, you are propagating, you are preaching, you are recommending job rotation as a developmental tool for your line managers. But what about you? Can I put you in marketing? Are you ready to come and do some production? Are you ready to go into the purchase and stores and the supply chain management function? We say, no sir, that doesn't apply to us, the job rotation applies to you. Sorry. Today, the lines of differentiation between functions, the boundaries are blurring. Blurring boundaries between functions. Blurring boundaries between industries. Blurring boundaries between what is meant as value proposition itself is changing. Look at all your digital-based companies. IT-related based companies, including Olas and the Ubers of the world. But at the same time, as I said, we also need to use our five senses. As human beings, as human relations experts, we need to really sense, we need to feel what the organization requires, we need to feel the pulse of the people, we need to relate to people, we need to understand what they are aspiring for. So, all that is never sacrificed. And saying you have to do this and that, that's the challenge. That's the challenge. To be multi-skilled, multifaceted as an HR professional. But having said all these 5 or 6 trends or whatever, I am, as I said, not a crystal ball gazer, but I can tell you, I believe that the world will never end, at least as far as we are all concerned. The world will continue to be what it is, the business will continue to be what it is, the HR will continue to be what it is, because of 3 fundamental sets of principles that will never change, and which I call as everlasting values of people and business. And this will never change. Come what may, let robots take over the business, but then there are 3 sets of values which will never change in business, and that's something which as HR professionals we are the custodians. We are the trustees of those values, and it is our job to really see that they are in place in the organization as and when it seems to be getting diluted. And that is the first is the values of quality and excellence. As long as there is a customer, as long as there is a product, there is a solution, there is a project, there is a service, we have to deliver quality, 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 and drive excellence in organizations and institutions. I think as long as we are, let's say, ambassadors, or as long as we are the champions of excellence in an organization, I think we have a role to play of relentlessly pursuing higher and higher standards of quality in everything that we do in an organization, in an institution, and recommending that and seeing that that happens, because that is a lever that we have with the business leaders. So quality and excellence world over, quality keeps on improving. Look at your smartphones today. Look at your gadgets, look at your life itself, quality of life, if you will call that. The second set of values and principles are what I call as the power of the human qualities. Can you ever bring by digitalization or by mechanization or by automation, can you ever bring things like commitment and involvement, relationship building, trust, passion at the workplace, sense of ownership? Can we actually bring this by digitalization? I dare not. It's just not possible. We need somebody like in an HR and in the business to actually help the organization harness this power of human power. Actually, that's why it's called manpower, right? And that's the reason why we say human resources power and things like that. So I think we have a role to play in terms of furthering these values and seeing that they are nurtured, they are respected, and qualities of respect and things like that, trust, passion, ownership at the workplace and all of that. Now that we have to build in an organization for organizations to transform. So that will again never ever change, come what may. The third set of values and principles that organizations and institutions need to pursue relentlessly and with a no compromise attitude, zero tolerance kind of a attitude is ethics, governance and integrity. I think today organizations which are pursuing these values and practicing them are by several notches, they are respected, they are much more profitable, they are much more kind of organizations which are able to attract the talent today, because that gives you a credibility, a goodwill factor. Look at Murugappa Group, look at Larsen & Toubro, look at several organizations. I don't know to name all of them. Let's say the Tata or whatever, or a Hindustan Lever or an ITC or whatever. Whatever you think actually makes sense in this particular category, saying that organizations really need to have in place, proper place, the ethics and the integrity and the corporate governance and the good governance. And I think there will always be respect for organizations which follow these three sets of values. And I think I dare say that HR really is a custodian and a trustee for these values and principles. So once again, I wish you all the very best. I wish each one of you all the very best in your personal and in your professional lives. And let work be a means. Work is not life. There is so much to life other than work. You need to have interests, you need to have hobbies, you need to pursue other things other than just work, so that you become a much well-rounded human being. And I am often tempted to say this, that to make a good manager, you need to be a good human being. So let's pursue some of these qualities, some of these ethical principles, so that we have some guiding light in our lives, and then of course be much more practical, kind of much grounded, so that the business leaders can actually not only respect us, but really give us respect. Give us respect. Let us earn that respect. Let us not demand that respect in order to be on equal terms with them. And once again, I wish to thank each one of you for for conferring this Lifetime Achievement Award. This only means that I cannot stop. Lifetime Achievement Awards are not given for people to now put up their feet and say, oh my God, my life is made, man. No. Actually now I will go on full hog. I will go the whole hog and in full steam now onwards to relentlessly pursue what I love to do. And I have always believed that, my family has also always supported me, that you should do what you love. And you should, of course, love what you do. So I think I have followed that as a principle, and my family has always been behind that, and I have crossed all obstacles in my life thanks to their support and to some of these principles. So thank you very much. Have a great day. Jai Hind. Okay, there is a demand, but every demand of the union need not be met. And there is again, it's a question of decorum, right? It's a question of decorum. Now, if I start singing, it will look very odd. Yeah. But my request to you and to Dinesh is to make this into a full day HR Caucus. And in the evening, from 6 o'clock onwards, let's have some fellowship and networking. And I will entertain you for 3 hours. guaranteed. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. You are a true HR. I appreciate that. You say the no in the right way of saying no. Thank you, sir. And as you told, this honoring of lifetime for you is for you to start again for the next 30 decades of your service to this HR fraternity. We have been honored to have you, sir. And as you told,
before we became managers, let's all try to become human beings first. And as taking from your speech, as you rightly pointed out, employee diversity has been a serious issue for all of us in HR, across the companies, whichever it is. And then again, we all know very well, the line managers play a better HR role than the true HRs like us. But what we really do is, we became the thin line which connects this and runs. But when it comes to us, we usually deny. You know, we tell our marketing guy, you have to do the finance work, you have to do this production work. But when it comes to HR, we will do only HR work. So that's something which definitely we also need to think seriously, how we can get involved in marketing, production, business processes. I think that is what JDS has put forward as his lifetime note.